Welcome to the second part of how to clone the bottle flip 2K16 game using Unity. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and show you what we got so far. And again, if you want to follow along, please go to appsfresh.com. That's appsfresh.com and go ahead and download the bottle flip Unity clone project files. They're free, so go ahead and do this. Once you do that, you can follow along. And you know that there is no better way to understand what's going on than doing it yourself. So I strongly advise you to do so. Having said so, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got so far inside of Unity. So I'm going to press play, and let's take a look at what we have. So I press play within the game. I see the bottle on top of the shelf, and I'm gonna slide or press the key button down, and as you can see, the bottle starts flipping, and then it falls, and then it stops here. Nothing's happened, nothing's going on, because we need to reset the position and check if we won or not. If we win, we increase the score, and if we don't, we put the game over. Now that's the logic we need to tackle. Let's do this. All right, so inside of the sphere, which is the main object, we have the player script. So I'm going to double click on the player script. And if you guys remember, we have to check if the bottle is up and also reset the bottle position. So we were working on the reset of the bottle position. Let's do this right now. At the moment, it just says stop rotation, but that's not enough. We need to actually do the code. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. So to be able to stop the bottle or reset the bottle, we need to move it back to the original position. We already created the original position right here, so that's what we're going to be reusing. Let's do this. So that would be the body, which is the rigid body, dot move position, and we're going to move it to the original position. That's for the position. Then we also need the rotation. So body dot move rotation, and we're going to put this to 0. Why? Because we don't want it to move anymore. We want it to just stop right there. And then let's change the velocity so that it stops, it freezes. Body.velocity is equal to 0. Or actually, the velocity is a vector. So we need to do vector 2.0 so that it knows that it's 0 on the X and Y position. Now, let's do the angular velocity. So it's not just the speed, but the actual rotation, the torque speed, which is the angular velocity. Body.angular velocity is equal to 0. Now, I know it might be overwhelming for you in the sense that you might not understand all these terms, but I'm going pretty fast on this, and this has to do with the physics. It's the same physics in pretty much every game engine, whether you use Unity or Unreal Engine or Cocos 2D or any other engine. This is the same physics. Why? Because it's taken from the actual physics course that you took when you were younger, or maybe that you took in college. And if you don't understand, that's okay. You might want to grab the course that I have on Udemy. If you go to Udemy, you'll find one of my courses that's about physics. So look for Johan Tayeb and physics, okay? And you'll find it. Let me show you. You just have to say Johan Tayeb and then physics Udemy. You'll find my course there. All right, here it is, game physics. So Unity 2016 game physics. Now it's still valid in 2017 and up, but this course is all you need for the game physics. Cool. Moving on. All right, so going back to the script. Now we have the angular velocity, so we took care of the body. Let's also add and make sure the rotation is okay. So body dot rotation. I know I'm doing a lot of things here, and it's to make sure that we are resetting it completely. Then body dot position is equal to original position. And finally, let's move the actual object, which is the transform dot position. The game object here, that's what we're moving, is equal to the that would be the original position. And then the rotation would be transform dot rotation. And here we can do a new quaternion or do the quaternion identity. I'm going to just use a new quaternion here. Now, quaternions are 4 values. That's X, Y, Z, and the actual W for the rotation torque. Okay, so that would be 0, 0, 0, 1. I know this by heart because it's the identity in quaternion. Okay, so just remember that this is the default values that you need for the quaternion to reset it. All right, so let's save this. And now let's see it in action. Going back to Unity, I'm going to press play. And if we, when it's over, then the bottle should come back. Let's see, pressing play, starting the bottle. Okay, it's wrong. Boom. All right, it's back. Isn't that beautiful, guys? All right, let's try one more time. Okay, false, resets. Excellent. All right. Now we want to make sure that we get a point if we have it right. Huh? So let's do that. How do we test if we have it right? Well, inside of the player script, we have a check if bottle is up. So let's go ahead and do that. So how can we know if a bottle is up? Well, if the bottle is up, then we have the angle. We can look at the angle and what's the value of the angle. And at the beginning, the angle value is 0. So we want the angle value to be about 0, and that would be good, right? So let's say if the body dot angle, I believe it's the angular velocity. Yes, angular velocity. No, that's not it. We need the actual angle here. So let me see which one I could use. Oh yes, I can use the actual rotation of the transform. Transform dot rotation. That's the one. So I'm gonna try that, or I could just look at the z-axis. So transform dot rotation dot z-axis. If the z is, let's double check. So what do we need? If the z, that would be this one. Because look, if I go to the scene and click on the sphere, and then I start moving the z-axis, check this out. If I move the z-axis, it's rotating. So we want the z to be about 0, right? So somewhat about here. But we want a margin of error just in case it's not perfect. So we want it to be about an angle of 2, okay? So even 5, anything below 5 would be okay. All right, so let's do this. We're going to say, so let's take the absolute value so that it's -5 or +5, so in between. So if, to get the absolute value, math f dot abs for the absolute value of transform dot rotation dot z is less or equal to 5. And oh, by the way, the transform here, it's not in degrees, so we need to put the Euler value. Okay, so we need to translate this into Euler. So let's see how we could do that. So see the z component here, it's a quaternion, and it's not the right value. So what I need is transform this into the value that would be in degrees. So you guys probably already know. If not, you can always go and take a look at it on the internet. Now I could do it straight, but I want you to understand, if you happen to be stuck, what would you do? Now you can create the function yourself to transform the value from Euler to degrees, or you can just Google it for Unity. So you can do Unity and do rotation in degrees. Take a look at this, and you can see that you have the transformed on Euler angles. That's the one you would use, okay? And that's what he would do. All right. So let's go ahead and use that. So that would be transform dot Euler angles dot z. All right. Now, if you're not sure about this, you can always double check by printing this. And let's say, so if the value is this, we return true. Return true. Right. Otherwise, we return false. All right. Now, something you can do here is print it for now. So you can do debug.log, and here you can say angle is, and then print the angle. So plus, to print the angle, you would do the transform.euler.z. Okay, dot toString. Why? Because the debug statement is expecting a string value. So save that, and let's go back to Unity and check it out. Let's play and see what we got. Now, I'm going to remove the maximize on play so that we can look at the console. All right, pressing play and going to the console. Right, let's press play within the game, and let's move this. All right, so as you can see, the angle was 91, and then it came back. So the angle was obviously not the right one because it was at 91, right? It wasn't the right one. We wanted an angle of 0 or about to be 0. So that's definitely why it got reset. Cool. So far so good. What we can do now is actually do the test. So check here is the bottle. Now, the check if the bottle is up should happen. Yes, it should happen if the yes, when we check when it's 0. That's good. And here we're going to say if the check if bottle up is equal to true, that means at this point, guess what? That means that we score. We score a point. And how do you increase the point? Well, we already have an increased score, and that's what we're going to be using. Now, if you take a look at the manager reference, locate score, and you see that you have ways to set the score. Okay, so that's what we want to use here. To get high score, that's one of them. We can also set the score. And so let's take a look at what the score is. Okay, set high score. No, we want to set the regular score, not the high score. So if we don't see it, then we'll create a function to set the score. Not a problem. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, we already have it. Increase score. Perfect. So that's what I'm going to be using. Right? So going back to the player script, and here in the logic that we score, we can say refs dot increase score by an amount. An amount would be 1. We add 1 to it. And let's save that. All right. So now it's going to be hard to to play and get the bottle to be correct. So I could cheat and have the bottle correctly with the code, but just for the sake of trying, I'm going to try 1 or 2 times to have the bottle correctly. Let's see. Okay, well, that was a big fail. Let me try one more time. Another big fail. So, okay, well, I can still click and see. Let's see if I can do it this time. Whoa, that seems to be a lot here. Oh, almost. Okay, well, I don't want to waste too much of your time. So what I'm going to do is cheat. What do I mean by cheating? Well, I'm going to take the bottle and I'm going to change the shape of the bottle. I go to the sphere and I can just go on the material and edit the colliders. Why? Because I can actually move the collider so that the bottle would be bigger on the base. Why would I do that, right? Well, if I do this, then it's going to be easier to win. But guess what? I could just change the bottle here, the actual shape of the bottle. I can increase the Y and make it the actual X and make it thicker. Check this out. If I make a bottle like this, guess what? It's going to be a lot easier to win because the base is a lot bigger. So that's a way to cheat. So I'm going to press play and try to win this time. All right, let's go. All right, and as you can see, I won. Yes, 1 point. All right, so that's a way to cheat. Well, obviously I'm going to lose here, but as you can see, the point works. So the whole game works. The only thing that's missing is to bring the game over if we lose. So here at this point, when we lose here, we need to bring the game over. So I'm going to go ahead and bring a game over. But before I do so, I'm going to put it back to the regular scale. All right. And let's bring the game over inside of monodevelop. So if the jump is not correct, then I need to bring the game over screen, which is pretty straightforward. I need to say right here that if check is bottle is true, then we do that. Then we reset, and we need to check here else game over. Else, so we need to display. We need to display the game over. Display game over. All right. Cool. So how do we display game over? Well, we already have the logic for the game over. So let's look for game over inside of the manager reference. So here it is, show game over panel. All right, so that's what we're going to call. Let's go to the player script and else here, that would be refs dot show game over panel. All right, so let's see what we get now. Let's go back to the game. Press play. And now let's press play again. And I'm going to jump. All right, I should get a game over. Let's see. All right, game over. Isn't that wonderful, guys? In no time, I was able to get the game over right there. So that's perfect. Cool. All right. So we can actually restart. So I'm going to press restart. Excellent. And play. All right. The game works perfectly. Isn't that amazing? All right. The whole game is actually working. Isn't that amazing? It's really good, guys. Now, feel free to tweak it and make it work at your own pace, make it better, make it worse. It's really up to you at this point. And as what matters is that the rewards are already set. So if somehow you want to change the rewards, you can go to the reward system, which is inside of the manager. Here is the reward, and it has the rewards here. And you can click on the reward script and change the logic of the reward script. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, the rewards are set at specific intervals. So when you reach maybe 20 points or 30 points and so on. So go in the project and locate the reward script. So look for reward and you'll find the reward script right there. It says C# on it. So double click on it. And actually, is that the one? No, that's not the one. That's this one. It was the Google reward. So I need to find a different one. Let's see. Oh, yes, I remember now. The reward is in the manager references. So if you take a look at it, if you look below, you have the rewards here. And it says if the reward index is greater than 0, then we set the rewards. And then we need to check for rewards. So we need to find where the check for reward happens. Now, I don't see it anywhere here, but I got to look for it by looking for the word reward in all the files and see if that helps. Okay, there's a lot of files. A lot of them are actually from Google. So, oh, here, manager references, get reward. Okay, get reward, good. So yes, we do have a get reward. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to right click and go to declaration. And here it checks the highest reward earned. And once we do that, it gets the reward. So we have a reward manager. Let's take a look at the reward manager. So I'm going to look for the reward manager. Here it is. Now, I can also double click on it and edit it. And as you can see, the reward manager checks here for the score. So the values are here. If the score is between 5 and 10, you get the first reward. If the score is between 10 and 20, you get the second reward. 20 and 40, the third reward. Anything above 40, you get the last reward. Now, feel free to change this from either 5 to 10. You can do, 10 to 100, and then or 1 to 2, and things like that. Okay, all right, good. So now the next step is to actually edit the social media. So if you take a look at it here, I have the play button, but I have also the rate and the share on Twitter. So let's take a look at the share on Twitter. Now the share on Twitter is actually inside of the manager reference. And what we need to do for the share on Twitter is to edit where this is sending you. And you can see that it has the Twitter description and the Twitter name. So, okay, so here it just says, check this amazing game. And we need to say where this is going. But to be able to do that, we actually need the game inside of iTunes and inside of Google Play. So my next step is to create this game in iTunes or Google Play. And before I do so, I'm going to create the game icon so that we have a nice game icon. So I'm going to go to Photoshop and create a game icon. All right, so now I'm using Photoshop, but feel free to use any other software. You can find them on the internet for free. There's plenty of them. You can go to gimp.org. That's one of them, and you can download. It's the equivalent of Photoshop. You can also go to, instead of GIMP, you can go to sumopaint.org. Sumo Paint. I know it's a funny name, right? .com. That's another one, pretty cool as well. It's also free to use, but I'm sure you already have your own. There's plenty of them. The good old Microsoft Paint would work as well. Okay, so let's go back to Photoshop, and I'm going to create a new game icon. But instead of starting from scratch, what I'm going to do is go inside of Unity and locate the icon. So under Assets, I have an Icons folder. I'm going to double click on it and edit this icon, icon 2, or any of these icons will do. So I'm going to right click and do Reveal in Finder. All right, now that I see it, I'm going to open it with Photoshop. Cool. Now that I have it with Photoshop, what I'm going to do is take a picture in Unity and add it to Photoshop. But before I do so, I want to change the background color of this game. How do I do that? Well, I can click on the camera. So the camera here, the main camera, and change the background from black to, let's say, more of a reddish color, something that's easier to see, okay? So that it will be different. All right, that might be a bit too much. Let's go in the grayish. All right. Okay, way too much. So let me make it darker. Okay, so a color like this should do fine. It's not perfect, but if you take a look at it, it's easier to see. All right, so I'm pressing play and we can actually see it. Okay, cool. So I'm going to press play and I'm going to take a screenshot of this. But to take a screenshot, I want to maximize on play to take a better screenshot. All right, here it is. And now to take a screenshot, let me press play first. And I'm going to take a screenshot of this. So Command-Shift-4 to take a screenshot. And I'm going to take a screenshot of this area. Here we go. Command-Shift-4, that's the shortcut. Print screen on a Windows PC. All right, now that I have it, my next step is to grab the screenshot. So I'm going to go in my desktop and grab the screenshot. Here it is. And I'm going to open with Adobe Photoshop. And I'm going to select all and copy, Command-C to copy, and paste it on the new icon, Command-V to paste. And let me make it bigger. I just change the transform and move it around. Okay, almost there. I want to make sure that we see the whole shelf. Excellent. Cool. So now that this is done, what I'm going to do is take this color and apply it as a bucket on the new layer by pressing G for the bucket and just applying it so that it's everywhere. All right, and I have everything I need, so I can just save that. I'm going to overwrite the icon, and that's it. I can just now close this. All right. Now, my next step is to double check that I'm using it inside of Unity. So I go back to Unity, and now I see my new icon. Perfect. And if I go to File, Build Settings, I'm going to select iOS instead of Android. Now, if you're more of an Android guy, please go to Android, but I'm going to go to iOS for now. And I'm going to click on Switch Platform so that I go to the iOS platform. So this might take a while depending on how many assets you have in your folder. I don't have that many assets, so it shouldn't take more than a minute. It should actually be pretty quick now. All right, and it's done. So now I'm going to click on Player Settings. Cool, now in the inspector, I can see the player settings. I'm going to change the product name. I'm going to call this one Flipping Bottle. Okay, and select a different icon. I'm going to select the new icon that I made. All right, here it is. And then what you have to do is assign what we call the other settings here and add the bundle identifier. Now this is unique, and so you need to put a unique identifier. But by the way, you also need an iOS developer license. You can find plenty of ways to do that on YouTube. Go to my channel on YouTube and find them. I have plenty of videos that show you how to do this. So just go to YouTube and type my name, or go to my my station. Type Johan Tayeb, and then you can type iOS dev license. And as soon as you do this, that will show you how to get the iOS, see how to create the provisioning profile or the dev license. I have plenty of videos that are free and show you how to do this. So go ahead and do that. All right. Now, back to the game. I need an identifier. So I'm going to do com.appsfresh. And here I'm going to call this one Flipping Bottle. That's my unique identifier. All right. And by the way, this is already set to use the AdMob banner to get advertising. So I don't have to change anything. All the settings are ready to go at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and build this. But before I want to build this, I want to add the settings inside of iTunes, so that iTunes knows that I'm about to put a game there. So I'm going to go to itunesconnect.apple.com. This is the platform for developers to go and be able to add their games. All right, this is the backend of iTunes. All right, so I'm logging in, and you will see I already have plenty of games inside of my apps. All right, and what I'm going to be doing next is create a new setting here. So clicking on the plus sign in the top left, new app, and here I'm going to give it a name. Now, something that's going to be very important here is that the bundle will not appear here. And many people have problems with the bundles not showing up. And the best way to make sure that it shows up is to cancel this and go to the developer console. So go to the web browser and type developer.apple.com. Once you're there, sign into your account. By the way, to do what I'm doing, you need to have an account here. It's free to create the account. It's only $99 a year if you want to publish the game. So it's definitely worth it. All right, certificate, identifier, and profiles. And now I'm going to the identifiers. Click on app IDs, and I'm going to add a new one in the top right as a plus sign. And I'm going to name this one distrib for distribution. Actually, I'm just going to name this one flipping bottle. All right. And then the value, I'm going to use my team ID and an explicit ID. The bundle ID will be com.appsfresh. And here I'm going to put flipping bottle. Now, remember, you cannot use the same one as mine. Yours needs to be unique. But obviously, you can name it any way you want as long as you remember what it is. All right. Now, you don't need to change anything here. And let's create it. Click on continue and register. All right, that's it. It's registered. We are done. Cool. So now I can go back to iTunes Connect, and I need to refresh this page. So I'll just click on the refresh to be able to refresh that right here. All right. And now that it's refreshed, what I need to do is to create it. So I click on the plus sign, new apps inside of iTunes Connect, platform iOS. The name would be Flipping Bottle. And the primary language, English, bundle ID, I should be able to find the one that I just created. Now, I have so many of them that it's pretty hard sometimes to actually find it. But if I remember, the name was, I just created it, so it shouldn't be that hard to find, right? It's flipping bottle, so I need to look and find the flipping bottle. So com.appsfresh.flipping bottle. Let's see if I can find it. Not this one. Not this one. So sometimes, like now, I'm having a hard time finding it. And that's very important in the sense that this needs to match what we have there. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Okay, so sometimes if you don't see it, then we're going to have to redo it. And that's not a problem. You just have to cancel, sign out. So I'm going to sign out and sign back in. All right, now sign back in. All right. Let me double check that we have it. So inside of my app IDs, we should see the flipping bottle. Let's see. Where is it? I don't see it. You guys see it? I don't see it yet, so maybe that's why I can't find it. I'm sure it has to be here. Okay, well, let me go back to iTunes and see if I can find it. Inside, again, clicking on plus, new app, iOS. So as you can see, I'm having problems with that, and I'm sure many of you probably will have the same issues that I have. So that's, we all have to deal with that, okay? So it's just the way it is. Here it is. All right. So you see, sometimes you have to sign out and sign back in. Cool. All right. So let's put back the name. That was Flipping Bottle. English. And the SKU number, I'm just going to paste the same one as my bundle ID and create. All right. Now, the next step is to actually work on the settings. I'm not going to work on all the settings, not to because it's pretty straightforward and I don't want to waste too much of your time. And there's plenty of resources online on my YouTube channel to be able to do that. So register to my channel and I'm going to have even more and more to be able to help you with that. So all the information is here. I'm going to click on prepare for submission and I'm going to add the app icon. So you need to add some screenshots of the game, you need to add the description, some keywords, and add a build, and an app icon. So I'm going to add the app icon here. How do I do this? Well, I can just add this one. So how do I add this one? Well, I'm going to locate it, show in Finder, and then I'm going to drag and drop it inside of the iTunes. Right, so it's loading. By the way, it has to be 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels high and in PNG format. If not, it's not gonna work. Cool. So let's save that. We need to add the ratings and so on. And now the next step is to actually use this, what we just created. So if you take a look back in Unity, let's click on the manager. We have the App Store link here. And guess what? Now that created the settings inside of iTunes Connect, I can go and look for the app information. And inside of the app information, I see the link view in the App Store. What you need to do is right-click and do copy link address. So now that we have the address in memory, I'm going to go back from the clipboard and paste it in the App Store link iOS. So I'm removing this App Store link iOS, and I'm going to add the one I just took. All right, it's that easy. And for rating, what we're going to do is at the end of the rating, just change the com.appsfresh.color clone to whatever yours is. Mine is com.appsfresh.flippingbottle. That's all you need to do to go to the right place on the web to rate the app. All right, so we have the Twitter. That takes care of the Twitter, and that takes care of the rating. Now, if you want to change the Twitter name parameter, here it says, check this amazing game. If you want to do something else, feel free to say something like, check my flipping bottle game, or please go and download my game, or anything like that, go for it. All right, so now my next step is to build this for iOS. So I'm going to click on File, Build Settings, and here, make sure you select the icon on iOS, and then click on Build. Oh, by the way, very important. You see that scene? You need to add the open scene. Very important. It's already added, but make sure it's added, otherwise it's not going to work. Now click on Build, and let's build this. I'm going to go, and make sure you remember where you have it. I'm going to go inside of my courses folder under the Unity flipping bottle, and I'm going to create a new folder, and call this one Build iOS. So that I know that this is my build for iOS, what I'm going to use to publish to the iTunes App Store. And build iOS, save. All right, so now it's taking all the files, putting them all together, and making an executable file. Basically, it's the actual app, a physical file of the app. All right, so depending on your computer, it might take a long time or not. Okay, now I'm going to save you time because I know of a bug that happens with Google mobile ads. Whenever we finish building, it's going to give you an error. We always have the same errors, and I know exactly what to do. There's a few errors right now that are happening with Google AdMob and Unity and iOS. So let's fix them all in advance. So what I need to do first is locate the AdMob framework. So I'm going to tap AdMob and see if I can find it on my computer. Okay, so that's, or I think that's Google AdMobs. Let's see if I can find it. I'm sure I have it on my computer, so hopefully it can find it. If not, we have to go and download it. If somehow you don't have it, and you probably don't have it, I need to show you how to get it, right? So let's do that right now. Meanwhile, I'm going to go to the web browser and I'm going to type download Google AdMob iOS SDK. Right? And I made an error, but it understood that I was looking for Google. Okay, and here it is, the first one. And let's click on download. It's 16 megs. All right, download. Okay, I'm clicking on it, and it's downloading. Cool. Now that I have it, I'm going to double click on it, and it's opening. All right. Now, the reason why I got this is because I need this file, the Google Mobile Ads.framework, and you need it too. Okay, so going back to Unity, we had a build succeeded. Now I need to find the build that just got created. Now this build is inside of my build folder right here. I see it. Release iPhone, Unity iPhone, release. Oh wait, it's empty. How come? Am I at the right place? I thought I was. Oh, here it is. I guess it took some time to load. So locate the blue icon that says unity-iphone.xcode proj. By the way, to be able to use this, you need a Mac or you need to rent a Mac. If you do not have a Mac computer, you cannot publish to iTunes. That's Apple doing this so that it makes sure that you have to buy a Mac if you want to make apps and games. But I know a way for you to not have to buy a Mac. You can actually rent one. You can actually rent it for like 14 days for free. You can go to macincloud.com. All right. I have no affiliation with them. I just know that there are some because many of my students are using them. And you can actually use a Mac on the web, and it's free to use, and it's perfect to do what I'm about to do right now. You can check the pricing and see that it's actually pretty cheap. You can rent it by an hour, for 1 hour. You don't need it more than 1 hour, so it's going to be super cheap. All right, cool. So macincloud.com. All right, so the next step is to download Xcode. So once you have Mac in Cloud or a Mac computer, what you need to do is go to the App Store on your Mac computer. Once you're in the App Store on your Mac computer, you need Xcode. So go to the search and type Xcode. All right, and here it is. The next thing you need to do is download Xcode. Right here, it says open, but there's going to be a get for you. So click on the get, and this will download it and install it. By the way, this might take a long time, okay? So just know that it's about 8 to 10 gigs. So, make sure you take the time to do that. But most of you, my students, you probably already have it because we've done that in the past. All right, having said so, I'm gonna go ahead and open Xcode. Now, I don't need to open Xcode this way. I can just go to the unity-iphone.xcode from the build and double click on it. And this opens in Xcode. Here it is. So this is the game for iPhone, but we're not finished here. There's a few things we need to do. We need to add the Google AdMob framework so that we can have the ads displaying from the game. How do we do this? Well, remember, we just downloaded the Google Mobile Ads.framework. That's because we need it. So I'm going to drag and drop this inside of Xcode, inside of the groups and files under the Unity-iPhone. Okay, you guys will see a green plus sign. Drop it there, and it's asking you, do you want to add it? So destination, check the checkbox, copy items if needed, add it to folders, create a group, and add to the target the Unity-iPhone, and click on finish. By the way, I'm going very fast, I know, because some of you are expert at this, and some of you are just starting. So I'm trying to find the right middle. And now the next step is to actually build this. All right, so it's going to be pretty straightforward. Make sure here next to the play button, you select Unity iPhone and select generic iOS device. And next, click on Product, Archive. So this might take a while, okay? Actually, sometimes it takes a long time. And here it says that it could not do it. And the reason why is that I have automatic managed signing. And here I need to select my team. So here I have my team that appears. And if you don't see yours, click on Add an Account. Okay, I'm under Unity iPhone General, okay, and selecting the Unity iPhone. That's where I am. So here, select your team or add an account. And when you click on Add an Account, put your iTunes username and password, the one from the developer account that you created for iTunes Connect, okay? All right. Once you do so select it. I selected it. And we are ready to go. Let's see now. The build, I'm going to put build number 1.0, just for the sake of having a good number. Product archive. Oops, I put analyze wrong. Let me do product archive. All right. So this process may take 5 minutes sometimes. I hope that my computer is going to be fast. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's not. So I hope this time it's going to be fast. Now, as you can see, as it's the building, you see a yellow warning sign here. As long as you have yellow warning signs, that's okay, that's fine, but don't worry about it. Oh, by the way, I just remembered, there is a bug right now with Unity and iPhone. It's not really a bug, it's just that Unity needs to update. And I know exactly what's gonna happen, and I know how to fix it. So let's do it before we have a false positive. Select the Unity iPhone and go to the Info tab. Once you're inside of the Info tab, inside of the keys, I want you to go at the last key here and click on plus. And here, add privacy and locate the privacy for the camera. Privacy, and locate the camera, which will be the photo library. Here it is. There's a photo library, and put description. Do not put it in the description, but just have it. And click again on plus, and add another privacy, and select the camera one. All right, and add one for the media, plus privacy, and let's look at the media library. All right, media library. Okay, so photo library, camera usage, and media library. Add these 3 entries. And then product archive. All right. Now we should be good to go. Now is a good time to go back to the settings inside of itunesconnect.apple.com and modify the settings yourself. You can go here and change the settings inside of the prepare for submission. You can add a screenshot and do things like that. So I'm just going to add 1 screenshot just for the sake of having the screenshot. And the screenshot size, if you don't know what is the size of the screenshot, you can click here on View iOS Screenshot Properties and locate the one that says 5.5-inch Retina display. And this is the size that we're looking for. Okay, 2208 times 1242. So I'm going inside of Unity and I'm going to take a screenshot. All right, so I press play. And I'm going to maximize on play so that I can take a very good screenshot. All right, and I'm going to take this. So I'm going to take this screenshot and then I will work on modifying it. Cool, so I have this screenshot, good. Now I'm going to use it. All right, so I'm going to quit Unity because at this point we're done with Unity. We're just working on the submitting it to the App Store. All right, so I'm going to bring Photoshop. By the way, my computer can become very slow at some point because I have a lot of things happening at the same time. So that's totally normal, okay? Don't worry about it. Okay, all right. So now Photoshop is opening. Let me close some stuff so that it goes faster. Cool. All right, Photoshop is opening. All right, now that Photoshop is open, what I'm going to do is create 1 screenshot. And to do this, I'm going to create a new file, new, and put them in pixels and put the size that we just saw on the web browser, which is, if I remember, 2248. Let me double check. Well, my computer is very slow, so let me cancel this and let me go back to web browser. 2208 times 1242. Okay, so 2208, actually that would be for the height, 2208, and the width is 1242 pixels. Okay, cool, here it is. The next step is to go get it in the Finder inside of the desktop. I'm going to get the screenshot that I just took, and I'm going to open it. Open with Adobe Photoshop. And I'm going to do Command A, Command C. So I'm copying it, and I'm going to paste it here. Right? And I'm going to make it bigger so that it takes the whole room. Very easy, straightforward. All right, so I cannot take more room than this. And what I want to do next is increase the size of the top. So Command T to increase the size. And I'm going to increase the title. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to add, to take the white part and select the color. So I'm going to take the color here from the eyedrop and paste it to the bucket here. Okay, that's good enough. Now let's save this. Command Alt Shift S to save for web. And I'm not going to use any transparency. Do not use transparency for the screenshot. But it has to be a PNG file, okay? Now again, I have plenty of lectures on YouTube to be able to do this. If I'm going too fast or if you want to know more about it and how to make super screenshots, I even have templates on appsfresh.com to make professional looking templates. All right, and let's save this. And inside of my files, I'm going to call this one screenshot 1 and save. All right. And that's it. I'm done with Photoshop for now. By the way, you can do up to 5 screenshots, but just for the sake of learning, I'm only doing what? And look, perfect timing. Now I have a build succeeded with Xcode. Excellent. All right. So now that I have a build succeeded, we should see a box that's about to appear to be able to submit that. So somehow it's not appearing, but it's going to appear soon. But before I do so, let me close that. All right, don't save. Going back to Xcode, here it is. All right, so this is how we submit to the App Store. As you can see, this is the build executable, and it says upload to App Store. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to select my account. You should see your account. If not, you have to click and add your account. Choose. And now, if you use the same bundle identifier in Unity and inside of iTunes Connect, it will find your game automatically. Okay? So it's preparing the archive. Now it's looking at sending it to iTunes. Yep, it just found it. Perfect. I don't need to include bit codes or app symbols and just upload. You can add them, by the way, but just to save time, I'm not going to add this. All right. If you don't know what bit codes are, it's basically a way for people that are downloading your app. They only download the first piece and then the second part and the third part and so on. Okay. It says verify identifier. Okay, so somehow it could not find it, and I know why, because I have an error. I have flipping with 2 eyes. That's an error, so I need to go back and fix that. Not a problem. Somehow I did not catch that. If you guys caught this, then good, but I did not. So I need to go and locate the bundle identifier and change that. Here I'm going to say com.appsfresh. And here that would be flipping bottle. All right, I'm glad it caught it before I had any error. All right, cool. And let's take a look at the app name. So bundle name. Let's see if the bundle name is correct. So here it is, flipping. Yep, that's what's wrong. It should be flipping bottle. So there we go, flipping bottle. All right. Cool. So in the info, I can change the product name to com.appsfresh.flippingbottle. All right. And now I'm going to archive again. Okay, so this might take a while, but this time it should be faster because it already compiled once. All right. So meanwhile, I'm going back to Google Chrome and I'm going to add my new screenshot in iTunes. Here, I'm going to click on Choose File and locate the screenshot that I just created and type screenshot-1 to find it. I should be able to find it quickly. Okay, here it is from today. Yep, that's it. So open. And now it's going to upload the screenshot for us. Okay, it's going to use my screenshot for all the different types of iPhone. Very good. And do not ever forget to click save, otherwise you're going to lose all your changes. Cool. So feel free to add up to 5 screenshots and even a preview trailer. If you don't know how to do trailers, well, you can ask me on appsfresh.com. I have people that take care of doing amazing trailers. That's all they do. They're professional animators. All right, so let's put a description. Flip the bottle. Flip the bottle and try to have it stand on its base. Score as many points as you can and brag to your friends. Cool. All right. So keywords. Meanwhile, since iTunes is since Xcode is still going, I'm going to show you something amazing. You guys ready? I'm going to give you a way to know very good, very good keywords to use so that people can find your app or game. I'm going to go to search ads, app.searchads.apple.com. I repeat, app.searchads.apple.com. Once you're there, you need to to register. It's pretty straightforward. Then click on Create Campaign. Once you do this, you can look for the original game flipping for the bottles. So I'm gonna type bottle flip. 2K16, here it is, that's the original one. If you click here, you can actually see what are the keywords that these guys are using. All right, so you guys see the best popular keywords. So there's free games, water bottle flip, and so on. Now, there's another trick, and you can find it on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to show you that. So if you go to YouTube and you look at my YouTube channel, so here is my YouTube channel. I want to see all my videos. Okay, so inside of the video manager. And the one you need to look for is the ad, the search ads. So let's see if I can find search ads. I need to search here, okay? So search. Let's look for search. Yep, this one, using Apple search ads keywords for App Store optimization. So I want you to click on this one. And once you locate it, you can obviously look at what I say. But before you do so, look at the description. There is a script, an amazing script. I want you to take that script. Right here, it starts at the $sign. Copy that script and make sure you're inside of Chrome and in the search ad. Then right-click and click on Inspect. Right-click anywhere, click on Inspect, click on Console, click on Delete or clear the console, and paste it at the line. Command-V to paste and press Enter. As soon as you do this, this is the holy grail, guys. You have all the amazing keywords that the original app is using to get all the things. So you can copy the words and add it to your game. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So let's go ahead and do this. So I need bottle flip. So keywords, bottle flip. Next one, pull a column. Then the next one would be water bottle flip. Water bottle flip. And let's see, 2K17. So apparently some people are looking for 2K17. So I'm going to do that too. Next, flip. Okay, water bottle flip in one word. So flip, water bottle flip. What else? So I have 43 characters left. I'm going to keep going. Tab games, bottle with an EL. So people sometimes make error. So bottle, they spell it wrong. Okay, that's good, good for us. Next, water with 2T. Okay, yes, that can happen. Water flip with 2T. That happened. And I have 15 characters left. So tuber simulator. Okay, I'm going to go with that. Or bottle flip. Yeah, let's go with bottle flip. Bottle flip. Okay, I'm going to stop here and click on save. All right. And by the way, I had a build succeed in Xcode, so I can now upload to the App Store. Cool. Choose. Right. And it's preparing to upload it to the App Store. All right. I'm going to remove that and click on upload. Hopefully everything is okay this time. But this is a very long process, as you can see, and there's many things that can happen, many errors. I try to make it as simple as possible, but errors can happen. So far, so good. It's looking like it's going because it says uploading. It could not find any errors. Isn't that amazing, guys? All right. Almost there. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know many people that can do all the things that I just did right now in live and and make almost no errors whatsoever, or at least be able to fix them right away. It requires a lot of experience, so it's okay. Don't think that that you're stupid or that you're dumber than me. It's just that I've done this more than 100 times, so obviously I know what I'm doing. And trust me, at the beginning I was having a very hard time. So it's okay if you're having a hard time. And if you appreciate everything that I'm doing, please do me a favor. Rate my course. Follow me on YouTube. Go on my Facebook page. Please help AppsFresh. Buy anything, even $5, anything like that. Sometimes I just want to go to Starbucks and and drink a mocha or something, and anything definitely helps. So I can keep doing this and keep going and adding more content. All right, enough bragging. Upload successful. All right, I can click on done. I can close Xcode. I'm done with Xcode. Right, and now the next step would be that to submit it to review. But before we do so, under prepare for submission, under the build, we need to add the build, but I'm not going to be able to add the build because we cannot see the plus sign next to the build. If you look at activity, so click on activity, you'll see that it says that it's processing. As you can see, it sees that we just uploaded the app, but it's processing and making sure that everything is okay. And once the processing is finished, you can go to App Store, prepare for submission. There will be a plus sign that will appear here under the build, and select under the build right here, select the plus sign, select the plus and select the build, and then right on the, there's a few more settings, and then we're ready to go. So at this point, you can stop here and keep going. The review process will be about 2 to 3 days at most. But I'm going to keep going myself because I'm almost there. Why not submit it to the store, right? So what I'm going to do is here put a copyright. That's my company, Best Apps Fresh US LLC. All right. I don't need any information here. The information is wrong, but that's okay. I'm going to save that. Version 1.0, that's good. Now I'm going to edit the ratings, meaning that it's a PG. Anyone can use that. So I'm going to put none on all of it. There is no horror, no violence, no sex, no drug, no tobacco, no nudity, nothing like that. So everything is no. It's not made for kids. I cannot check that though because we have ads. We have advertising networks here. So I'm going to click on done and save. All right. And by the way, if you want to put your ads inside of Unity, click on the manager reference and you need to add your ads. Now, if you want to create your ads inside of Google Mobile Ads, go to my YouTube channel and find videos on adding Google AdMobs. If not, here is a quick outlook. Go to apps.admob.com, register using your Gmail account, and then once you do so, you need to create a new monetized new app, the red button right here. Click there, and then add your app manually, put the app name, select iOS or Android, and then you will see an ID for the banner. That's what you need, an identifier. It's just a string that starts with CAPUB. All right. Okay, so now I have this. I do not need a demo account. Automatically release when it's done. Perfect. All right, I have the description. Support URL, I'm going to put appsfresh.com, but if you have a website, put it there. If you don't have a website, use Facebook, create a free page on Facebook, and add the page URL here. Okay, and click on save. Marketing, if you have a marketing team, that's where you need to put it, or marketing web page, that's for it. Okay, pricing, I'm going to put free, since it's using ads, and it's available at discounted price, and it's available everywhere. Save. Okay, so now that's done. Let's take a look at the activity. So I just clicked on activity, and somehow I don't see all bids that have been submitted are in the Xcode version number. Okay, so that should be good. Let's see. Maybe I'm able to add it right now. Let's see. I might need more time. Yeah, okay, well, I'm going to need more time, so I'm just going to have to wait. And I'm going to stop the video here because at this point, we're good to go. We're only one step away to submit it once you select the build and click on submit. All right. Thank you for watching. And again, what I meant to ask you is, again, do anything, please, that can help. I'm really trying to help and do things for that so that everyone can make apps and games, because it's fun. And I know that it's not easy for everyone. So please rate my courses, like my YouTube video, share it, because I'm sure you have a friend, if not a brother or a cousin. There has to be somebody from your Facebook list that wants to make games. I'm 100% sure. Everybody I talk to, all my friends, even the friends of my friends, everybody wants to make games. We all have to go through this, and it's fun. It's fun to have a game in the App Store. So please share. I'm sure they're going to love it, and they're going to love you even more for having shown them these resources. Thanks again for everything, and I'll see you soon. And good luck on the App Store. And let me know if you have any success, or show me any screenshots of what you've done. I love to see what students come up with. Thank you again. Take care.